Hey y'all, it's Sherry. I am here with Hecate's Needle, and I am back. It's been a month since my last video, but that's because we've been busy moving. We are now here in Alabama. As you can see, we are on the screened-in porch today. And the reason we're on the screened-in porch today is because my craft room looks like that. Yeah, that mess right there. And it's raining. We are joined today by the lovely Artemis. She is here to join us. The cats are inside. They're not about the rain. Anyway, today I have a little bit of cross stitch. I have no sewing, no gardening. I have a whole bunch of life, obviously. But if you're just here for the cross stitch, I'll leave the life part for the end, and this will be a quick trip for you. First, I want to start off by saying thank you. Thank you to all my subscribers. I love all of you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. If you haven't subscribed yet, please consider it. We are trying to build a tiny little community here. A community of kindness and cross stitch and crafting. So, there you go. There's all the YouTube stuff out of the way. So now, on to cross stitch. Cross stitch. Now, with moving, I haven't had a lot of time to stitch. Not only that, in preparation of the move, I had taken all of my projects that were in progress and I had put them in a bag, and I kept that bag with me. Now when we got to the house, I put the bag in my craft room and I put it in a corner where it would be out of the way of the movers. Consequently, they buried it. But I did have one finish this year so far. I did have one finish, and I had a new start because the project I was trying to finish, my focus piece, I had actually put in my suitcase so that I would have it with me. And then I had a couple of small kits that I had gotten from Christmas, and I had tucked those in my suitcase. So I did have something to start once I finished my focus piece. So we'll start with the finish. The finish, and those of you who have been here for a while, I'm sure you can guess which one it is. This is my first finish of 2025. Yay! Yes, the beautiful biomes is complete. I love it. I love it. Now, this was a stitch along done by Pixel Pixie. I stitched it on 14 count Aida by Fiber on a Whim in the colorway of Sand, and I used black anchor floss. And each of these bands is a different biome on our planet, and I love how it turned out. I love it. Let's take the wad of floss off the front of it, shall we? There we go, that's better. A little out of practice. But there's my first finish of 2025, and I love it. It's awesome. So there's that one. Now, I did not iron it yet. I haven't ironed it yet because my iron's in a box. I know where the ironing board is. It's buried, but the iron's in a box. So nothing's been ironed. Just FYI. But anyway, so there's my finish. Very excited about that. And then I have a new start. Because once I finished that one, I started a new one. It is in my cat bag, which is awesome. It was a gift. It's from Little Boat 88, and it was a gift from Laura from I Stitch Birds. Now, this was a kit given to me for Christmas by my husband, and it is by Luca S, and it's cherries. I love cherries. And this is a small little project. It is not big. I already am at 16% completion. I've put in 320 stitches. But that's okay. We love small projects as well as big projects. It's all good. Let me move the wad of floss. But I have this much. Without the pine tree in the back, or the palm tree, I have this much done. I am using all kit materials. I have not made any changes because I can't find any of my stuff. So there will be no changes made. I started that a couple nights ago. Basically, once I say I'm done unpacking for the night, I pull out a project and stitch for a little while just to decompress, de-stress, okay? Because moving sucks. Hopefully, this will be the last time I have to do this because I plan to die in this house. I'm not going through this again. But anyway, those are what I've worked on. That's it. The cherries, I believe, is a 16 count Ada. It's just white. DMs or whatever floss Luca S puts in there. But anyway, that's all I've got for cross stitch. I don't have any haul. We've been moving, so no shopping. And I have enough to put away. Plans, I'm still sticking with the same plans that I had mentioned in my New Year's Day video. I've got them on the spin the wheel. Once I unearth them, I can start working on them. Hopefully that will be soon. I am just going to have to move all of my goals with each of the projects back a month because moving. But anyway, that's what I've gotten thus far. That's it for cross stitch. As I said, if you're not interested in life updates, thanks for joining me for the cross stitch and have a wonderful day. Now, on to life. As you know, we moved from Texas to Alabama. 8 hours away. Not bad. The worst part of any trip is just trying to get out of Texas, of course. And if you're from Texas, you understand. Texas is a big place. It sucked. Don't get me wrong. We love our new house. We absolutely love it here in Alabama. We're thrilled to be here finally. But everything that could go wrong in a move has gone wrong with this one. I'm sorry about that. We'll get to that. But basically, we had hired a mover. Now, we had planned to, because we were making trips back and forth during the close, looking for a house, closing on the house, etc., etc. So as we were making these trips back and forth, we were loading up the pickup truck with various things and bringing them, putting them in a storage room. So we'd already begun the moving, and I had been packing. I packed everything. The movers, all they had to do was take the stuff and put it on a truck and drive it to Alabama and take it off the truck. One job. They failed. So we had hired movers. This moving company was horrible. Horrible. They were awful. So the day the movers were supposed to show up, I had gotten up and we had moved everything out of my craft room. The craft room was completely empty, and we locked the cats in there. Now, when the movers came, and the little leader guy with his little clipboard and his little stickers were going around the house, and I was showing them, okay, this doesn't go, this does, this does, this does. We get to the craft room, and the door is shut. And I said, this room is empty. There is nothing in there. We have emptied it. Do not open this door. The cats are locked in there, and we don't want the cats to run out while you're moving stuff in and out and you have the front door open. Do not open this door. He immediately pushes me out of the way, yanks the door open, and says, what's in here? And of course, who popped out and ran like a bat out of hell? Jelly Bean. So, took me and my husband to finally round up Jelly Bean. Now, my husband wasn't home at the time. He had gone to pick up lunch. He got back, and I'm chasing Jelly Bean around the house, and he's not having it. He's not having it. He's not going back in that room. So my husband helped me gather up Jelly Bean. We finally cornered him, and I got him. Put him back in the room with the other cats. We ate our lunch, and these guys, every time they walked past that room, they opened the door, what's in this room? And Jelly Bean would get out. So finally, my daughter and I had already loaded the car with our suitcase and all of this stuff. And I just packed up the cats and said, you know what, we'll head out. We'll leave you to deal with the movers. And my husband's like, that's fine. That's better. Because we'd already planned. My daughter and I would bring the cats. My husband would bring Artemis in the truck. So we packed up the cats and we headed off to Alabama. Now, the whole time I was dealing with the movers while my husband was getting lunch, they kept asking me the same question over and over and over and over and over. And they kept telling me, well, this isn't on the list. 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 And I said, okay, well, this list says you only have 20 boxes. And I'm like, what house have you seen that only has 20 boxes? I'd love to know. Because I've never seen one. But they're refusing to take anything that wasn't on that list. Now, we had hired a 1,200 square foot truck, which if my husband and I had packed it, we could have Tetris that stuff in there and had room left to spare. But no. If it wasn't on that list, specifically named on that list, they weren't taking it. And it finally got to the point where I just said, my husband's on his way. 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 I'm not answering your questions anymore because you don't listen to me anyway. My husband's on his way and you can talk to him. So anyway, finally my husband gets there. He deals with them. And they tell him straight out, I'm sorry, your stuff is not going to fit on this truck. You need a 2,500 square foot truck. And we brought a 2,500 square foot truck, but you're going to have to pay more. Well, my husband dealt with it. I was like, you know what? I'm loading up the cats and I'm leaving. I'm done. I don't care anymore. You do what you're going to do. So he ended up paying for the 2,500 square foot truck. So they loaded up all of our stuff and immediately unloaded it into a storage room. We had been told it would take 2 to 3 days for the stuff to get here. On the 8th day, they called us at like 9:30 at night and said, we can deliver your stuff now. And we're like, no, it's 9:30 at night. Hello. We don't want you waking up our neighbors and everything else. Well, we'll come first thing in the morning. Okay, that's fine. By now, I was already mad anyway. Because 2 to 3 days and you're showing up on the 8th. And no, now the 9th, because we're not doing this at 9:30 at night on the 8th day. And I had already made phone calls and they had gotten all ugly with me and said, well, I don't care what they told you. That's not the case. It's 1 to 8 days. it was you who told me 2 to 3, but okay. So anyway, they get here, and it's just a driver and a helper. The driver did nothing. He took everything out of the truck, threw it in the driveway. Me, my husband, the helper, and my autistic daughter carried everything in the house. My husband and the helper put all the furniture back together. While the driver sat in the truck. Regardless of the fact that that was his job. I was livid. I know for a fact they have lost my daughter's desk. I don't know where it is. Maybe it's still in their storeroom. And I know the stuff was in the storage room because the guy told me. We took everything out of the storage room, and you have 1,300 square foot of space in this semi truck, and that's where your stuff is. Why did we pay for a 2,500 square foot truck to move if we only needed 1,300 square feet of space? I have a problem with that. And I'm currently dealing with the moving company about all of this, including the lost desk. And who knows what else is lost, because I haven't finished unpacking everything. They broke the end table. That was wonderful. So yeah, that was a thing. Okay. So after sleeping on the floor for 8 days, we finally got our stuff. That night, of course, we're all exhausted. We were all moving the boxes and everything. We all take showers before we go to bed because we're sweaty, we're dirty, we're dusty. Well, we have the master bathroom, and then my daughter has her own bathroom now. My husband is taking his shower, and I go to put my daughter to bed. Now, she'd already had a bath and everything. We were going to brush her teeth. I walk into her bathroom, and it is a lake of sewage, raw sewage. Literally, there was a lake of shit water in her bathroom. And I'm like, oh my God, what? It was in her bathtub. Like, what the hell happened here? So my husband, I ran and told him, and he brings out the snake, and he's snaking in our bathroom. Our bathroom was fine. But he had noticed a little bit of water coming out from the floor where the toilet is. So he's snaking our bathroom. I'm like, stop, you're exploding sewage in her bathroom. So I end up at midnight calling a plumber. Great guy, awesome guy, wonderful. He's my hero. He shows up and he takes one look at it and he's like, no, this bathroom, there's a blockage in the pipe. Can you fix it? That's all I care about. He's like, I can fix it now, or I can come back in the morning. I said, if you could fix it now, that would be wonderful, because that's nasty. He's like, no problem. He didn't even charge me that much. But after an hour, he got it working. Turns out it was an old blockage. Apparently the people who had lived here before us were flushing tampons and all kinds of stuff, and it had blocked up the pipe. And it was something that he even said, there's no way an inspector would have noticed that, doing an inspection in the property. That's just it. The blockage was way down, like 6 feet from the bathroom. I'm like, okay, that's fine. He went home. I spent the rest of the night cleaning. Okay, that's all well and good. So I have all these towels full of sewage. No washing machine. Yay! Because our washing machine hadn't been delivered yet. I'm like, oh my God, why? Finally, the washing machine is delivered. The washing machine and the dryer. They hooked the dryer up, but when they hooked it up, they made the door swing the wrong way, so you can't open the door of the dryer because it hits the wall. It won't open. It opened too much. The washing machine, there was a plastic sink that you would put in a mudroom in the laundry room. And I'm not sure why, but it blocked off access to where the washing machine goes. So they couldn't put the washing machine in. They couldn't get it installed. So they're coming back out Saturday. Now that my husband immediately came home, and I told him, get that sink out of there. I need a washing machine because nasty. I have a 3 weeks worth of laundry to wash. So yeah, three weeks worth of laundry to wash. I need a washing machine. So anyway, my husband took out the sink, and now they're coming back out Saturday to install the washing machine and to switch the direction that the dryer opens. So maybe I can finally do laundry again and quit wearing the same crusty pair of socks that I've been wearing for 2 weeks now. No, honestly, my daughter and I said, we're not doing this. And we ran up to Target and bought socks. We already had underwear, but we bought socks. It's like, no, this isn't working for us. But anyway, so there was that. Then my husband, of course, I had gone online and changed our address with the post office for my daughter and myself. Went through fine, no problem. I went to do my husband's and it locked it and said, no, you need to come into the post office and show your ID. Okay, well, he went into the post office, showed his ID on the day that the movers were coming, and they said, oh, okay, we'll unlock it. Well, what they actually did was reset his address back to Texas instead of accepting the new address in Alabama. So once we moved and he was on there, I guess 3 days ago, he tried to do it again. He tried to do another change of address online. It locked it again, and this time it told him, you need to come to one of these post offices and show your ID. Every one of them is in Houston. Like he's gonna drive 8 hours for that. So he called and he's like, look, this is the second time my daughter's address has been changed, my wife's. Why am I having this problem? They're like, oh, well, we don't understand why, but you need to go to one of those post offices and show your ID so they can unlock it. He's like, I live in Alabama. I'm not driving to Houston just to show a post office worker my license. The guy says, well, I can't help you. Because our government's awesome. But anyway, so our post person here, she's sweet girl. I told her, because she had given me one of those little green cards that you fill out saying who lives at this address. And I had put his name on it, and she's like, well, did you fill out all the post office change of address? I said, well, I went online and did mine and my daughter's, and every time my husband tries to do his, they lock it. And they keep telling him he has to go to a post office in Houston to show his ID to unlock it. And she's like, what? What is that nonsense? She said, I'm going to give him a paper card, have him fill it out and put it in the post box for me, and I'll see what I can do. So he filled that out, and we're waiting to see if that helps. But yeah, really. So anyway, but other than this, all of this nonsense, it's actually been great. We love our house. I mean, currently it's 73 degrees with 81% humidity, but it is raining. It is raining out here. So the humidity is to be expected. We already have a shed that we've turned into a chicken coop that we just need to put a pin for them to keep them contained because there are hawks in the area. But we love it here. We love it. We love our house. I can tell you right now, I'm going to be spending a lot of time on this screened-in porch. The cats love it. They love it. Don't get me wrong. The first time I opened the door, once it started getting warmer, the two brothers, Jellybean and Snickers, they were out here. They were like, yes, this is awesome. Cheeto was out here saying, yes, this was awesome. Hecate wasn't sure about this nonsense. It might be dirty out there. And she's not about that. But gradually, she worked her way out. It took her about 3 days, but she finally worked her way out here. And now she spends a good portion of the day out here. She likes it. In other news, we got news about Cheeto. Now, when we originally rescued Cheeto last winter and took him to our old vet, they had told us he was probably about 1.5 to 2 years old. Well, here recently, he started dropping weight. And we noticed he was throwing up the dry food, which the vet said, well, you know, he's been a stray. We don't know his history. He may never have had dry food. And dry food is actually hard on cats for digestion because they need moist food. They get a lot of their water from their food. So a lot of cats do have sensitivities to dry food. Try wet food. So we were giving him wet food, and that was working for a while. But then he stopped eating entirely, and he's nothing but a little fuzzy skeleton at this point. Well, as soon as we got settled here, I took him to a new vet here. And she did x-rays, she did blood work. And she said, I don't know why the vet told you he was, 2 years old. She said, he's an old cat. He is a senior cat. I'm like, oh, okay. She said, I'm going to do some x-rays and I'm going to do some blood work, but I think I know what's wrong with him. And it turns out he has all kinds of lesions inside his mouth, which is why he didn't want to eat, because his little mouth hurt. She said, I'll call you back once I get the results in. But in the meantime, here's some antibiotics. As you can see, the chickens are out. Here's some antibiotics for his mouth and some pain medication, and they're just drops that we put in with a syringe. And they gave us a little cream that you rub in his ears for appetite stimulant and sent me home. Okay. Well, they called and said, no, he has kidney disease. He is an old cat and he has kidney disease. So right now, what we're having to do is give him subcutaneous fluids under his skin to help flush out his kidneys and to rehydrate him because he's very dehydrated. And still giving him the medication for the sores inside his mouth and the appetite stimulant and whatnot. Prognosis is up in the air. She said, let's see how this works. And we're already seeing improvement. He's eating the soft, the lickums, the little lickable pasty things. He can eat those now. He ate one of those this morning, and he ate the whole thing, which is awesome. But we don't know. She said prognosis is up in the air. Just remains to be seen how he responds to this treatment. If he responds well and he starts putting on weight again, great. His prognosis will be better. But if this doesn't work, then probably not. He probably won't be with us much longer, which is breaking my heart. But, it makes sense, because even when they told us he was just, 2 years old, we had 2-year-old kittens, and we're like, he's night and day from them. And I don't know if it's because he was a stray or what, but he doesn't act or look like a kitten. But we didn't know. We just went by what the vet told us. But anyway, so there's that. We're worried about our little Cheeto, but we're taking care of him. And you know, what I keep telling myself is at least in his final days, he has a family who loves and adores him. So that's good. And that's helping. But we'll see how he does. I mean, obviously, we're hoping and praying and keeping our fingers crossed that he does well and that the prognosis gets better. But we'll see. But he does love it on the screened-in porch. He likes it out here. So I usually, when it's not raining and like humid, keep the back door open so that they can come and go. But today I'm keeping it closed. So, but that's what's going on here. Life, basically life. I'm hoping in my next video, it'll be 2 weeks. I'll go back to my 2-week schedule every other Thursday. Hopefully I'll have more progress, more things to talk about. Maybe I'll actually have, macheted my way into my craft room and can work on my other projects. That would be nice. Maybe I'll have all my house unpacked by then, I'm hoping. We'll see. But thank you for joining me. I'm back. It's been an experience, but it's for the best. My husband's happy at work. He's no longer working in that poisonous environment. And he's happy again. His blood pressure is already way down. So that's a win. But anyway, once again, thank you for joining me. I would say thank you for joining me in my craft room, but no. Thank you for joining me and Artemis and my chickens as they come running around the corner on my new porch. Maybe next time I'll have a craft room. But again, thank you for subscribing. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching. If you like what you saw and you want to see further adventures, please feel free to like, subscribe, share, hit the little notification bell, all that YouTube-y stuff. And I hope you have an amazing weekend. And hopefully I'll see you next time.